And we are live right here at a super secret location. But if I was at a location, it would probably be a cool place called Civilport, started by my friend Chad Montgomery here.
Hello, Sam.
This is Chad. I'm Jeff. This is season 2 of Growlersations. We're ready to drink some beer and get going.
I'm Jeff.
Is that what I said?
You did.
I'm rusty.
It was awesome.
I'm rusty. While Jeff's pouring up the beer, Chad, why don't you tell us about where we're at?
We are at an undisclosed location, as already mentioned. We are a coffee shop and beer bar, otherwise known as a coffee and beer ruckus. We have 30 taps, 25 of which are beer and cider, and then 5 non-alcoholic taps, kombucha, cold brew. Obviously, we're a coffee shop. And we are a full-service coffee shop, full espresso bar, or a growler bar. We do panini sandwiches. We do lots of stuff in here.
Yeah. Tell us about this badass thing.
Oh yeah, that's the mural wall. That was
Why an
California.
elephant?
So that when customers come in, our goal is to remember their name. They say elephants like never forget anyone they've ever met. So obviously the goal is to try to remember our regulars, the people that come in and see us.
That's sweet, man.
That's the elephant. That's why he's up there.
And it makes you remember like your mission too. To remember your guests. That's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
And it just looks badass. And kind of metal as fuck too.
That's all hand painted.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's hand painted.
Who's the artist?
California guy named Chris Saunders.
Oh, that's what you were gonna say, and I cut you off.
We were the first mural he's done outside California. So just found his stuff on Instagram and asked him to come out and do a mural, and he was all about it.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, it took me a little second to get all logged in there. We are live with the questions, so if you have any. Alicia, Jeff's wife, says from Harvey, what do you call a turtle wearing a scarf?
I have no idea.
Cold. Right. Well,
Dad jokes.
hey, you know, it came straight off the interwebs.
Nice, Harv.
So one of my favorite things that you described what this place is to me was that it was a meeting of your two loves, being beer and coffee, but also with your background of technology. You've got like all kinds of super cool stuff in here, the Pour Steady, the Growler thing. It's not very often I like go to a beer bar and there's beer stuff. I don't know how it works. Like, I'm not one that's like, I don't want to touch that because I might break it. I'm kind of usually like, I'm gonna go touch it, break it on purpose kind of guy.
Yeah.
But that Gruber thing is intimidating.
Yeah, you know, it's got this thing, and I forget what it stands for, but it's got a PID controller in it. And my electrician was looking at this thing going, this thing has a PID controller to fill beer in a vessel? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, what is that all about? And it's like this thing that like pressurizes the growler and then fills it with CO2, and then we get to watch the CO2 sort of like bloom inside this growler. And when we cap it, the beer is like never touched oxygen. So it's just like a production brew house.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So just to go back to clarify, that thing that you're calling a Gruber, that's a Growler Filler. That's
right.
what it does.
Oh yeah,
It does
Good
fill the growler.
clarification.
Yes.
Filled these growlers.
It did fill these growlers.
Yeah.
And we have affectionately named him Hans Gruber,
Nice.
based on a Facebook poll of about 200 people that helped us choose that.
Well,
name.
it just seems like the right name.
Yeah, I think so.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well,
It
of
is.
course.
Die hard, man. So I actually watched one of these things. I think it was like they only had 4 taps of it set up at like a CBC or something like that.
Nice.
And I was just like, and then they'd be like, let's go to the next thing. I'm like, no. Look at this thing. Like, because it was amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. I don't even get tired of using it. We've been open almost 2 months now.
Yeah.
And if there's ever a chance to fill up a growler in that thing, I'm like, oh, I got it. I got this
Yeah,
one.
I got you.
Can I do it?
It's just fun.
So you were talking about how it's like they have like an Austrian crew of people that will come and teach you how to use it. Like, how did you end up finally decoding? When I was here on opening day, it was a struggle.
The lead bartender is a guy named Zach.
Yeah.
22-year-old. He's young and vibrant, and he broke open the manual, which is about 200 pages. And
Hey Todd, we're drinking your beer next. Stay tuned.
Hell yeah, man. This thing is written like a technical manual, though. It's not a step 1 to to 10. It's like, here's this device, and here's this other, and so everything is in different places. So, but he decoded the manual, figured it out, and we've even been able to adjust like fill speeds and portion sizes, and we can fill up almost any size growler now, and it fills to the 1,000th of an ounce. We can get real precise with it.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So he figured it out.
So you have them programmed in there already?
We have like 7 portion sizes pre-programmed, and then we can manually go in and change stuff if
Does the
needed.
speed affect like it? Because if it's like so, man, I have so many questions about this thing.
Like we can fill a gallon, and that fill time is longer, right? So we just increased the fill time.
Can you fill kegs?
We
Can we just bring our kegs by?
No,
and
but
then
that's what they do.
you can group them for us.
Gruber is like they make keg fillers. That's their company's like thing.
Let's
Oh,
Uber.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I did it.
So I can't fill your kegs, but I can fill a gallon growler. if
Yeah.
I need to.
So you were on the founding board of North Texas Beer Week, with with all those fearless leaders of all of that going on. What do we call ourselves now? Are we still the board, or are we advisors to the chairman?
Advisors to the Matt Dixon. No, I think it's just a committee or a board of directors or whatever you want to call it. I mean, we're all volunteers. And, back when it got started, it was it was Dallas Beer Week, which was run by a couple out of Houston, and Jay and Kathy, thanks for getting it started. But we just kind of had bigger plans for the week and asked if we could take it over, and eventually we came to an agreement, and here we are. I don't know, what is it, 5 years later now?
Yeah, I think
Is it only 5?
I think the first one was 2013, where like Scooter did all the graphics and everything, and that was like the one that we really grassroots.
So this is number 6 then, I guess.
Because 2014 was the
Counting
first.
the Dallas Beer Week?
2014 is the first time I have like fancy shirts.
Like if we start at 13, when it became North Texas Beer Week, then this would be 6, right?
Yeah.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17,
Yeah.
18.
Guess so.
Yeah, 6 years of Beer Week. Coming up, starting on Saturday, right?
Yeah, I guess maybe
Starts
technically
Friday.
it starts Friday.
Yeah,
We like
okay.
to, as festival organizers, we like to say that it starts on Saturday. We are throwing a festival, which is one of our biggest parties of the year at Brain Dead Brewing, on Saturday down in Deep Element. It is the launch event this year for North Texas Beer Week. There are a lot of events going on starting this weekend all the way through next. So if you like beer, get out there, check it out. There's a ton of cool things going on. ntxbeerweek.com is the domain for a lot of that. But you can check out your favorite beer joint.
What's
Civil
the
War included. You said that with the exact same tone that you said it earlier.
I am curious though, like what you changed to. We used to do street tacos.
Yeah.
And this year it's fried chicken.
It
Talk
is.
about that. Like, what was the change and what's happening there?
we wanted to do, tacos last year, as you remember, as a co-organizer of Festival with us since its inception. That was really just, we wanted to have good food, and we thought tacos would be a good, easily, single bite thing that you could eat with your hands out in a beer festival. And we kind of took a lot of that same logic with coming over to fried chicken, but Chef Taylor McCreary, our chef, is, pretty much hands down, fried chicken and chicken wings are like
He's good at that.
his favorite
It's
thing.
fucking magical, dude. Have you had the fried chicken?
No, I haven't really been left this place since we
Right.
opened it.
I'll bring you some. We had some hot chicken the other week, and I was like, "Are we putting this on the menu?" He's like, "That means we'll have 4 chicken things." And I was like,
That's okay.
"It's so good."
Their little fried thighs, what he was doing on that hot chicken thing. And
Okay.
So it was a lot of spice and like vinegar going on that hot chicken.
But it had
But
it was like the chicharron, so there was meat and fat.
fatty,
Yeah, so
like dark meat. No, you're great.
Yeah.
That fatty
What kind
dark
of
meat was
fried
just-
chicken is at the festival this year?
there's gonna be several types of things.
Oh, cool.
I think you can put like what you want specifically. We're gonna have it listed, but basically it'll just be like fried chicken. Like if you get it's a $3 card, so you can get a small portion. It'll probably be like a leg or a thigh or something like that.
Nice.
And then you can get like the full portion where you'll get like a full thing, and then there'll be sides and things like that for haven't really
Sticking with the same plan of the $3 cards, so
Yeah.
that
Yeah, yeah.
you can go and get trade in your $3 tasting card for tasting fried chicken too.
Cool.
So whether or not it'll be like a breast cut into a third, or a little drumstick, or whatever, however it comes out, chef will balance all that out. With,
Cool.
making the assortment. So I think he's excited. We wanted to have some other people involved in the fried chicken, but as you know, Festival isn't a big money maker experience for a lot of people. So
No, it is not.
we just go there to have a good time, and so we're gonna do that and let Chef cook in his sweet spot. Get out there and crush it. We're doing
Awesome.
way more of our beer than we ever have at Festival.
Well, you have more
because
beer now, I think,
the
than you
breweries.
ever have.
Yeah, we do, but you know how we used to have just the 2 beers,
Yeah,
and then we'd
yeah,
have
yeah.
like cons in the same area.
Yeah.
So it'd be like cool kids drinking Braindead over here, and then the majority of people would be chilling over here. So we're bringing it all together.
Okay.
And making it like ours peppered in through the beer, and I think we have about 12 per own, if you count the cask, or maybe 8. I don't know, 8 to 12.
Well, this happiness comes from within is like the best of all the New England IPAs I think you guys have put out that I've
Yeah.
had so far.
Yeah.
This is probably the 3rd batch I've tasted. I don't know how many you've made, but this
We're at
one's
5 now.
5 batches. This is light years away from what the first one was. It's
Yeah.
so good.
And that's part of what that whole thing has been. There's so much that Drew has to do that is counterintuitive to all of the efforts he's been dialing in on his techniques over the years. So in some ways he's having to unlearn some stuff.
Yeah.
And it's been a fun experience for us to have a front row seat of. We think of Drew as like a wizard,
Yeah.
but getting a front row seat to kind of watching him get nudged a little bit out of his comfort zone and doing something new. And I
Yep.
know that he's excited about that prospect as well, because one of Drew's things that he set out to do this year when we were discussing our goals for 2018, he wanted to brew, I can't remember if it was 100 or 150 recipes. It was something triple digits and insane, but he wanted to have 100 unique beers be added
Nice.
to Braindead's list of beers that we've made.
Where are you guys at?
He's allowed to do like barrel variants and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Like those count towards his 100 uniques. But
We're on pace.
You're on
I
pace?
haven't gotten a number, but yeah.
I think it's
know
less
we're
than
on
it should
pace.
be, but I mean, it's just crazy to set yourself that fucking, that's high.
It is high.
100, but I think he's counting every other beer. So it's like, how many batches of beer did he make in the year? We're getting there.
Does that mean you don't get a lot of repeat beers either? Like even popular stuff?
We
Well,
get
we
like
mentioned-
honey lager.
Yeah, Happiness is on batch
Happiness is
five
number
this
5,
year,
okay.
I mean, those we do get repeats. We're making Love Cult again, and then obviously some of the seasonals. Idol is always in the mix because we have like appallingly ironic outcome is a Chardonnay barrel version of Idol. Holy shit, dude! It tastes like Chardonnay.
Nice.
Like, and I know sometimes that's offensive to like a beer drinker who's like, this just tastes like whiskey. It's like, yeah, I was sitting in a barrel of whiskey, but like the beer.
Wait,
is
how
so-
did we go from Chardonnay to whiskey? What
Well, I'm
happened?
just saying, like people like who like they want it to taste also like the beer too, like
Oh, yeah,
complaints
yeah,
that you'll get from the beer.
Okay.
So, but I just think it's amazing that it accepted, like, took all that flavor from the barrel. Because the beer is like kind of just like it's flavorful, but then all those flavors mixed together to become this thing that's just like wow, and appallingly ironic outcome.
Appallingly.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've heard the whole story you really told like that.
Well, it's a Futurama reference, but it's also great.
I can
Nice.
imagine. We still have some happiness left, so don't forget that. But since Todd is being so talkative in the chats, I got real thirsty for some Oak Cliff Brewing. Oh, I thought you were doing a brew fusion over there.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm not that adventurous.
Do the old black and tan with the hazy IPA. That's right.
Was that black?
That's not.
So this is Oak Cliff Brewing Company. Just opened up a few weeks ago. This is their Schwartz beer. Schwartz beer.
Did you do it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Cheers, Todd.
Todd's about to
This
fall
is
over
how much.
and die.
This is how much we
Smoldering.
love your beer. He just
I'm a
poured.
dad, sir.
He just poured it on top.
Now we have 3 different beers on the table.
This is the first collaboration between Oak Cliff and Brain.
Happiness comes from Black Lager. That's what we call this.
Happiness comes from the Schwartz.
Schwartz comes from within.
But Schwartz beer means black lager, like it means black beer, literally, which is kind of a cool thing. It is what it is. In a time when dark beer has been thought of as scary to a lot of people, Schwartz beers and Dunkels are these two styles that are super approachable and real light. Shinerbach body here, but a lot more roast and a lot more complex flavor and things. And I love beers like this, even when it's hot outside, because it's the weight of the beer in my mouth that's the refreshing thing to me, not always necessarily the flavor profile.
I get encouraged when people come in and ask for. I don't get a lot of people that are like, "What do you have that's like Bud Light or Coors Light?" I don't get a lot of that here, which is encouraging to me.
Yeah.
But I do get a lot of, "What do you have that's like Shinerbach?"
Okay.
And that's actually one of the reasons we tapped this the minute we got it, because it's probably the closest thing I can get to a, I don't know, it's similar. It's obviously different in a lot of ways, but it's dark in color but light in body, and that's what Shinerbach is, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
It's got that smooth mouthfeel and kind of cola nut, almost like kind of like a coffee thing going on. I don't know. I like it. I love this style in general, and appreciate that they're doing it, because not a lot of people understand the Schwartz beer. It's one of the misunderstood beers out there, I think I would say.
Well, it's a lager, so it takes 3 to 5 times as long to ferment, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't get the super soft, comforting, clear thing. It's still a lager, but it's also scary to people, which is kind of the funny thing.
It's not like murky.
No, it's not murky.
Just dark.
You've been at a beer festival where you're sampling.
Dark and light.
And they're like, I want something
one or the
lighter, and
other.
you're like, well, the lightest thing I actually have is this really
Yeah.
dark beer.
I'm
And
afraid of that.
they're like, oh.
I tell them close your eyes.
Close your eyes.
Turning Point came out with a beer called The Lightest Beer You Have.
Really?
Yeah. So when people say, "What's the lightest beer you have?" Like, "Oh, I have that.
Yeah,
I have it
there
on
you
tap
go.
right now."
Is it ironically like Imperial Stout?
No, it's
Okay.
actually like a light lager, I think.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. It might be a Pilsner, but I
Yeah.
think it's a light lager.
This mix is actually pretty good.
I don't doubt it.
I get the bitterness of the Schwartz, but then also, because that's what you're lacking from the happiness.
Yeah.
Bitterness.
All right.
Good to go.
A little beer
Our
suicide.
collaboration's perfect,
It's
Todd.
like a hoppy Dunkelweizen.
TABC it said it couldn't be done.
Some will say it's Photoshop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here we are. Here we are making the magic happen.
Who else is hitting us up in the chat?
It's been a whole lot of Todd. Oh, Matt Dixon said his ears were burning. He could tell we were talking about his amazing leadership.
He's right.
Julia Carl said somebody's name, Bryce Kesterson.
Maybe she was tagging Bryce.
Hey Bryce.
Hey, Bryce.
Bryce.
What's up, Bryce?
Bryce is probably interested in this, judging by what Julia Carl has to say. So I was mentioning earlier where we are now at Central Track, that too, but Civil Pour. I kind of think of this area as over by Nazca Kitchen, because that was kind of the longest standing thing right here.
Red Hot Blue, probably.
Red Hot and Blue. Okay, yeah. That's the sign at Walnut Hill 75. So when I was a kid, I was talking about how this intersection was everything that I ever wanted it to be. And it's been funny because this intersection has evolved with my maturity as an adult. That Specs over there used to be a Toys R Us.
Yep.
The same entryway that you walk down where all the air bars are blowing and stuff when you walk it down. That was how I used to gear up to going to get Sega Genesis games and Legos. Just walking down that hallway. Yeah, totally. It's go time. Now it's the same way. I swear I spend $250 every time I go into that Specs, because I just get so pumped. I get Toys R Us amped. I go walking in.
It is like the biggest Specs in the world, I think.
That one is?
Well, I'm making a joke, but
It's gotta be
it's
close
huge.
to it. Yeah, it's giant.
Yeah, it's huge. We actually even buy some stuff over there for this place. We buy like orange bitters for one of our coffee drinks that we sort of we modeled it after like an old fashioned, but it's an old fashioned coffee drink, so there's no alcohol in it. It's just espresso, orange bitters, orange peel, a little seltzer water, and simple syrup on ice.
Nice.
That's the Shakerado.
I did your ginger coffee thing.
Oh, the ginger brew?
Yeah, ginger brew.
Is
that just what
that
it's
thing's
called?
great.
Ginger brew, yeah.
It's not called redheaded stepdaughter or something
Wow.
like that.
Wow. I don't know if that's an insult or not, but
I don't know.
me and Jeff, we're both kind of got some of that. You got a lot of red going on through that
Do I?
mustache. Right now you do.
That's my Irish.
I'm very calico. It gets all black, and then when I trim it down, when I trim all the black off, all the like red and white comes out of it. It's funny.
Really?
Like right when it first gets trimmed.
Yeah.
If I go from beard down to small beard, it'll like I don't know. There's all this color and stuff up underneath.
I like how he says redheaded stepchild, then he points at me and says small beard.
Dude, this is 4 days, motherfuckers.
That's 4 days.
He had it like yesterday. I swear, yesterday it was like this under here.
So I want to do a time lapse. People always ask me how fast my beard grows.
It's
I want
the
to.
fastest beard I know of.
I want to do the real deal, shave it off, and take a picture every day, and like I want to like set something up where I put my phone on the mirror so the picture looks exactly the same all the time, and
You should definitely do that.
365 days.
Have you grown a beard that long? 365?
Well, I'm getting married in 6 months, so there will be a definite trim in the middle. But I think that would make for a fun beard growth montage, as you can see someone's life happen during their thing.
You should start at zero, like when it's nothing at all.
Oh, I want to razor it. I want to bick it. I want to go. I want to do. The first one would be like a video of me shaving it, and like that would be the start. Would be the razor.
You're on your honeymoon. She's like, come hang out with me. You're like, we're gonna do this for at least 5 minutes, babe.
Sorry, you go. I got a thing. I need 1 frame for every. I need 10 frames for every second.
Are you guys
I'll
gonna?
be right back.
Are you guys honeymooning anywhere in particular? Do you know about that yet?
Yeah, we're going to see Mark Rebier in Kent, England.
Really?
Well, it's a bunch of things kind of happened randomly. We're flying to Iceland, and photography's been my thing, so I'm getting to get my photography out, fill up my memory cards, and then Icelandair does this Icelandic layover thing, and then we're going to go over to
Oh, I've heard about
Copenhagen.
this. You can stay however long you want, right?
Yeah, 1 day to 4 days or 10 days or whatever. We're doing a couple nights. And then the plan is basically to go over to Copenhagen and then eventually next fly either down to Prague or like Berlin or something and then drive west because my friend is getting married in France.
Wow, awesome.
Which is why she's one of my best friends. So good of a friend, in fact, that she was smart enough to say, hey, why don't you consider taking your honeymoon to come see me get married?
Awesome.
Because, that's how good of friends we are.
Yeah.
And
Either way, though, that's pretty sweet.
no, totally. I just mean like her parents are like, I invited her parents to my wedding. Like she's, Rugrats?
Yeah.
When we were young, we were best friends. People call us Phil and Lil because we like both look kind of the same.
Yeah.
We look like we could be related. And it was like super, we had the most platonic relationship ever. Like it was just never, it never came up that way. She's my best homie. But so we're basically making our way over to that wedding.
Nice.
And Mark Rebier is playing at a music festival in Kent, England, right across the English Channel from Normandy, France.
Nice.
The weekend before she gets married on Monday. So I'm like getting ready. I'm gonna go see Mark at a music festival in England, and I'm super pumped because whatever music festival books Mark, I'm totally down with whatever else that they book.
Yeah. I'm actually seeing him in about 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see him in Indianapolis. I'm gonna go see my parents and go see Mark at a small little bar, 186 capacity. We've already sold out the 150 tickets.
Yeah.
It's a sold out show.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet that sold out fast.
It's sold out real fast. He's already got 3 sold out dates on his tour.
Definitely.
I saw someone say, hey,
awesome.
I'm in England. I'm like right near this. He goes, it's probably sold out already. That's the way I heard him say it. It's probably sold out.
There's an epic. So my friend Chad likes his music a little heavier and harder than me. Jeff likes it heavier and harder than me, and then Chad takes it on over into the the whole.
I think we're on the same. I just like the sludgier shit.
You like the sludgier stuff, and I like the stuff that's a little more.
Sludgier
I
stuff.
like to be like.
He likes more vocals.
I like the guitar-driven stuff.
If I was playing metal and it was like like that, but he's like.
He would have loved Overshot too, man. That was his drummer, just like. Anyways.
Yeah.
Forget what I was saying.
You were talking about honeymoon stuff, and then we just sort of devolved from there.
Oh yeah, no, I was just talking about you liking louder music. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So where I'm going to see Mark, we were talking about seeing Mark.
Yeah.
Where I'm going to see Mark is the old venue in San Antonio. I used to go see all my metal shows at when I was younger. It used to be called the White Rabbit. It's become called something else.
One of my favorite songs of all time.
Yeah.
The White Rabbit.
It's called that.
Jefferson Starship, Jefferson Airplane.
Yeah. Okay.
One of those incarnations. Yeah.
Yeah.
White Rabbit is one of the best songs ever.
Throw it in.
Do you know that? Do you know that song?
No.
It's an incredible song. It's 2.5 minutes long.
Dude, you
It's
have
amazing.
it.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
Familiar with it?
It's in what's the movie?
The game.
Give
It's
the
in
math
the
and
game.
Turnstile, $2, and you can,
It's in that movie, The Game.
Awesome. I love that movie.
It's one of my favorite movies ever.
No spoilers.
No
Watch
spoilers.
the game.
Amazing. Amazing movie. If you like thrillers,
But
one
Benicio
of the
del
best.
Toro and the pirate, what's his fucking name? They're
Jack
driving through
Sparrow?
the
You're talking
desert.
about Pirates of the Caribbean? I don't know what you're
Driving
talking
through the desert. He's Hunter S. Thompson. That movie
about.
has
Oh,
it in it.
Fear and Loathing?
Yeah. He's like, remember when he's in the bathtub? He's like, I'm in there, and when I get in here, and when it hits the high note of the White Rabbit, throw it into the thing, so I get shot. And I get. No?
I saw Fear and Loathing one time in the 90s when it came out in the theater,
Yeah.
and I just couldn't get down with it. It was just like, I felt like I hadn't done enough drugs in my life to understand that movie.
They could have kind of.
You know, I've done a lot of
quarter of
drugs, and
Uh-huh.
I haven't done enough drugs to fully understand that movie. I've
Yeah.
never huffed ether.
Yeah, I
you
don't know what that does.
Yeah.
Where can we find ether?
Yeah.
Where
Does
can we
anybody
find
know
ether?
about ether?
Sorry.
Like we're
Sorry.
sourcing our drugs on Facebook.
You might be on whatever list that we're on now. So sorry about that.
All right, so
Dang.
five best drinks that you can get at Civil Port that we're not at right now.
Are you talking about like the things that we offer on our menu?
Yeah. Because I know.
I mean, the Warlock is like,
Yeah.
like I said, I drink that almost every day I come here. So that's a little cayenne pepper. It's a latte.
Yeah.
Cayenne pepper, cinnamon, agave syrup, chocolate syrup into
Sounds like a latte.
It's amazing. A latte. Hey-yo. Sam got a little aggressive with his pouring there.
I thought you were laughing at my dad joke.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Got it. Oh no!
Oh no.
You gotta make it beer again. make beer again. Okay, Warlock. It's a latte.
I got it. It was
But
a
that
lot.
thing
It
is-
was a latte.
The Shakerado.
Yeah. Okay. Shake it out. The one you were talking about earlier.
Pour over coffee.
Yeah.
That's my favorite
It's just-
style of coffee.
But that's just.
That's
see,
what
I'm
I
not a
drink
I'm not
mostly
a,
when I come.
It's coffee by the cup instead of by the batch. So we don't brew
you
like
just pour
a
over
half
like
gallon
in
of
a
it.
Chemex thing.
Yeah, so like in a Chemex or when we do the individual
Pour
cup.
steady.
Yeah, you use the pour steady.
Sorry,
which
I'm
is
the,
an
coffee,
automated.
I'm the coffee dumb person, so I'm just asking.
That's all right.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I learned about coffee like 2.5 years ago.
Wait, whoa. You only learned about coffee 2.5 years ago?
That's the only one. That's when I got
Well, you
into
took
it.
that class
Oh,
too, right?
wow.
Yeah, I went to coffee school.
Yeah.
I guess it was July of 2015, so I guess a little over 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
It's kind of when I got into coffee. I mean, I drank coffee before that, but I wasn't like
yeah.
into it, you
I
know.
follow. I took pictures before I got into photography.
You know, like how the worry of like a beer class is like when people get too drunk. It's like those people just be too. What else? What's next?
Yeah.
What do we?
Focus. All right.
Yeah.
Pour over coffee. S'more espresso. That's bourbon, vanilla, graham cracker, ice cream, 2 shots of espresso, and a torched marshmallow. That's like our house dessert.
And what's that one called?
S'more espresso.
Dude, that sounds awesome.
S'mores and espresso, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And our buddies up in Richardson, Sweet Firefly,
Yeah.
best ice cream in DFW.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
guys supply it for us. So,
Right next to Frankie's.
is that the burger place that's up there?
No, it's the Mexican restaurant right next to
Oh, okay. Yes,
Yeah.
right next to Frankie's.
it. Yeah, dude, it's great.
Oh, because you used to live up in Richardson, right?
But both those places are awesome. Anyway, Sweet Firefly.
Brain
So
Dead
that
was
was-
born up in Richardson.
Was it?
That's where we had all of our meetings.
Oh, at Jeff's house.
Oh, yeah.
Established Richardson, Texas.
Yeah.
Under the white noise of Harvey's little sleepy thing.
And then obviously drink number 5 is just any beer off the menu. I think that's got to be number 5.
And what's that?
Any beer off the menu.
Drinking for 5? Is that what you said? Drinking
The
for
5th.
So-
Drink number
yeah.
5, yeah. Because you said what are the 5 things you would
Yeah,
drink?
yeah.
A thing I really love
thought it
about
was like a special
your
drink.
beer menu is you do a great job, or at least when I've looked at it critically, there's always some like comforting kind of like old school classics
Yeah.
on there, but not like, no knock on Sierra Nevada, but not necessarily like that. More like a real ale offering, or,
Right.
something along those lines. But even as someone who considers himself fairly beer savvy, I say fairly because I'm not as hip as I used to be. When you stop buying beer, you lose a lot.
Yeah, sure.
And Spencer has unfortunately gotten to have all my fun lately, as much as he doesn't look at it that way. Is that there's always things I've never even heard of on your tap wall.
That's what we
which
try
is
to do.
super cool. At Braindead, we've gotten to where we're carrying so much of our own beer that we're really only getting out there with 3 or 4 taps.
Right.
And I'm just not being exposed to as much as I used to. And I walk in here and I just have, like, I've never heard of that. What was the pastryfication of
Oh, down with the patriarchy.
Sherman's pastry?
903.
903?
They threw entire strawberry sheet cakes in this cream ale,
Yeah.
and they brewed it. And then it's a local bakery to Sherman. And they were actually making the second version right now, which is cream ale with blueberry donuts. This is like in
Yeah.
the mash tun. They're brewing with this stuff in there. And it literally tastes like a cream strawberry sheet cake beer.
Yeah.
It's delicious. It's like 4.5%, 5%.
Yeah, we had it. It's awesome.
It's very crushable. It's delicious.
Yeah.
It's not too sweet, even though they have all the pastry stuff in there.
Yeah.
Pastry stout's a big thing, so I think down with the patriarchy is a way to say like we're not down with it, but we are down with it.
Yeah.
We're doing it in a
We're
different
making
way.
fun of it in a slight way, but also like, look at this. It's 5%.
Yeah.
And it tastes awesome.
Yeah, we wanted to call our collaboration with Noble Ray. My wife hasn't touched my dick in 7 years, but that one got.
Ooh.
It just didn't. It didn't
Yeah.
end up making.
I don't.
So we called it graham cracker stout instead.
You're more brave than I am. If you even thought about that, because I couldn't do it, man. Good for you.
Well, I think if there's ever 2 irreverent brewers that when you let them get together to do their thing, Tommy Miller and Andrew Herder are gonna like accidentally start their own country someday and like secede from our nation or something. You know what I mean?
Tommy's the military force, and Drew provides the beer.
Yeah, and Drew's
And they're
like,
both-
why do we even have a military?
They're just the ideas that get spitballed back and forth with them. They're not even. It's not that they disagree or they do agree. They expand on each other's ideas,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden things are just so out of control. We stuck a mash on a pilot system like within 30 minutes of starting to brew that day. It was
Nice.
crazy. That was graham crackers and vanilla coffee.
Is this a stout?
Yeah.
Okay.
We wanted it to be, there was like, maybe, I can't remember. There were so many conversations. Usually beer collaborations are very like, hey, let's brew this. It's like, okay, that sounds cool. And then you brew it. Like that one was just like, it was in flux all the way until it was actually in
Yeah.
the thing. Like, okay, we can't put any more stuff in there. Scratch the blueberries. Like it just got out of control so fast. But that was a good day. I think that's what, of the other brew pubs in Texas, we have a lot in common with the Noble Ray folk. And I think that's just because of a lot, Tommy and Drew came up together in the game, and Tommy's always been a part of our brewery without really being a part of our brewery.
Well, I think
Kind
Drew
of
was
the
kind of
weird
like a consultant with Chris a little bit. I don't know exactly if he was like paid or anything, but he was homebrewing stuff like while we could go there, while we were starting even.
Yeah.
And they were starting.
I just mean even though Tommy's never worked for us,
Yeah, it's like
he's always
it's like a-
totally felt like a brain
Yeah,
dead
he comes
person.
in there and like just
He's one of us without having, and the whole Rigolo clan is the same thing. Yeah.
Is Todd still watching with us right now?
Bust to Nowhere. I can't tell if he is watching. He was commenting. But Bust to Nowhere, something we're all communally selling tickets for.
I think it's Road to Nowhere, right?
Yeah, Road to Nowhere.
Road to Nowhere.
Sorry.
Oh, it's Road now?
Matt wrote Bust to Nowhere.
I think it's Busted Nowhere.
Maybe.
That's what it was before.
The song is
Bust to
Road to
Nowhere
Nowhere, the Bust to Nowhere.
I think it's been renamed. If I'm not mistaken,
Either way,
I think
we
it's
apologize.
Road or Bus to Nowhere.
This is what's happening.
One of those.
Yeah,
There's
so
a bus.
Bust to Nowhere started as
You might be
us just getting real drunk on a bus and making some bad decisions while we were not at somebody's license.
That's why Nellie's not here. She's
Yeah.
still hungover.
She still won't
the
hang
first
out
one?
with me from 2 Bust to Nowheres.
It was that's the most drunk I've been in 15 years, probably.
No, that's
Yeah.
not what we're trying to. This time we've got it under control, TBC, and we're not trying to do that.
This is on a bus.
But it is a sweet
where
idea.
no one's licensed. And Anton, who's
We've
not
gone as
connected
fast
to
as
any
possible.
breweries, is actually the financial person behind it. So none of the bars or restaurants are making any money off this deal. Just
Oh, never.
Just
Yeah.
all independent Anton over there.
We love doing non-making money events like
Yeah.
Festival,
Yeah.
Road
The
to
best
Nowhere. Let's do stuff that doesn't make any
Yeah.
money at all.
All right, guys, let's try not to make money here.
Yeah.
Ready, go.
Anton's like my attorney.
So I think we start at Brain Dead, and then we go to Silverport.
Yep, stop number 2, which I'm going to pick it up from here.
Yeah.
I'm just going to hang out here and wait for you guys.
Yeah, you'll be at the first place.
Build a
It'll be fun,
campfire?
you'll see it.
Build a little campfire, a little chimenea
yeah.
out front. I had a customer tell me
Poke
they were
all
going
the
to...
holes in the shotguns for us.
Yeah. I had a customer tell me they were going to donate a chimenea because he's like, are you going to have chimeneas on the patio? I'm like, man, we just got started. I don't have a lot of extra money. He's like, I'll bring you a chimenea. I was like, all right, cool.
Sweet.
Sounds
Sweet.
good.
And that guy's Chimenea.
He's in his chimenea, be out on the patio, probably open these garage doors up or something like that.
Nice.
Because it'll be probably perfect weather for opening garage doors. We had the garage doors open the other day and it was like 57 out. It was
Yeah.
perfect in here. It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
That's great.
Yeah. We had a few moths that made their way in, but other than that, it was great.
Yeah, there's so many moths nowadays.
Matt Dixon confirms it's always been Bust to Nowhere, so
It's always been Bust to Nowhere.
Either way.
yeah. Like I was saying,
Either
the
way,
song,
it uses a road.
the song is Road to Nowhere.
Yeah.
The event is Bust to Nowhere.
Bust Nowhere 3. Brain Dead, Silverport, and then we go to Common Table. And
Wait, I
then
thought we threw
Not
in
doing it twice. Not
bowls and tacos.
Oh, and Bowls and Tacos.
Yes,
Yeah,
Bowls and
we're going to
Tacos, but Bowls and Tacos is going to be like a swing through, leaving
Catch a taco,
leaving
do
Brain
a
Dead.
shotgun.
I literally.
Can we get tacos when we're there? Like, is that a
There
thing?
will, there will be one taco and a can of beer sitting on a plate for everybody on the bus.
What if
So
we
it'll
want
be
to order
like,
additional tacos?
order ahead?
Okay.
Order ahead. We can have it ready for you. The plan is that our event is we're gonna have a
So we're
taco.
going to swing by Brain Dead again just to see it, and then we're going to Common Table.
Do we start at Brain Dead?
No, I think we start at Common Table.
Start at Common Table.
Oh, okay.
Then we
so
come
that way
here.
they end there. Yeah, that makes more sense.
I'm just talking about as a pit stop by Brain Dead.
No. I thought it'd be funnier the other way, but yeah, it's not
I think
like
it
we're
starts at
working
Common
the deal, yeah.
Table. Then
So that
and
way we
it
end
literally
there.
is just to pick up the bus, and I
Yeah,
think we
yeah.
immediately come here because it's like 5 o'clock to pick up the bus. 5:30,
Yes.
we're here.
You're
So I'm going to be
definitely right.
here at 5:30.
None of us remember.
Delete all that.
This is the third Bus to Nowhere, and none of us remember any of the other Bus to Nowhere.
The last year was really awesome. It was me.
I didn't go last year.
It was like
It was just Jeff and Corey on a bus.
Jeff, Corey. It was me, Corey, Dixon, and then 2 people that came just as like, is it going on? And we're like, yeah, it's going on.
Were you just 2 random people?
Yeah, we took them over there. We didn't take them on the bus because we were like, we'll just take you in a car.
I think that's over 60% sold out as of a couple days ago,
Yeah.
is what Corey told me.
Even better.
Well, I think
25
we chose
bucks.
the right way this time. Saturday, where
Yeah.
people can like do stuff next day.
Right.
Do you know what the
Or not do stuff the
last
next
time
day.
it was a
Or not.
Tuesday, and it was just like that was so.
The next day,
Yeah.
I wasn't a functional human until about 3:30 in the
Yeah.
afternoon. I went and had ramen at like 2, and I didn't even have my wits about me when I went there. I was
Yeah.
like, ramen? Do you have that?
The first one, I was a big part of the bus liaison, and the bus driver kept being like, I don't think this is legal. Like, as we were piling off the bus, it's like, don't worry, we'll be right back.
He didn't want us to be doing whatever we were doing, but
Well, I think the Clyde-Warren shotgun was spontaneous.
Yeah, but it was
awesome.
like on that weird stage, so it was like I thought it was gonna be dangerous, but it was actually just like, okay, no one's saying anything. This is great.
I think the thing that put me under
Yeah.
was when I found you out in back of the common table,
Yeah.
and I shotgunned 2 beers back to back.
Oh yeah, dude.
That was bad
That was
times.
impressive, by the way.
Tommy
I did
Miller's
not
here.
do. I did not do 2. You did 2.
I did too,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was impressive.
All right,
I've never done that.
official
Made it
thing.
look easy.
Starts at common table, goes to Civil Pour, Bowls and Tacos pit stop, Brain Dead, ends at common table. All the bad things happen on the bus, not any of those places. But it will be a good time. Tickets are 60% sold out, so go check it out. It's going to be good.
Do that.
I was playing you guys the whole time. I knew everything that he just said. That's such a blessed nowhere.
Also, if you guys are still listening, it means you're a big fan of Growlersations. If you have any recommendations of who some upcoming guests should be, we are just starting off the new season. Next week's guest will be Stephanie Meyer of
nice.
Lakewood Brewing Company Regional. Oh, get in there!
Jeff.
See, he's smoother.
He hasn't learned his lesson though.
He's smoother.
A little smoother.
And we're hoping to broadcast live from another super secret location with her next week. And we're talking about more North Texas Beer Week stuff, Women of Craft Beer. Brooke Humphreys, trying to nail you down. Carolyn Perini, all you ladies in Deep Ellum that are badass business owners, I'm trying to do a Growlersations with you, so do one with me. Matt Dixon says there are only 15 seats left on the road to nowhere, or bus to nowhere. So, if you wanna,
Does that count me?
yeah,
That's true. I haven't bought a ticket. Do I need to buy a ticket?
Do I need to buy
I
one?
think we're in.
All right.
As
All right.
organizers,
Counted. All right.
Okay, I hope so.
as businesses committed to also lose money alongside the bus to nowhere.
Yeah, Corey was like, just give us some beer away. And I was like, well, do we have like a token system where I know people won't come get 5 beers? He's like, no, it's an honor system. They'll just get 1 beer. I was like, okay.
Only
All right.
people you really like will come get 5 beers.
Right.
Yeah, right. Just totally take advantage of the whole
Only
thing.
your friends will steal from you that night.
Tommy Miller, do not drink 5 beers for free at my place. I mean, you can. It's fine.
So, I can't believe we made it this far, but Big Texas Beer Festival. We never mentioned your, being the originator of Big Texas Beer Festival. For those of you who don't know, Big Texas Beer Festival, this will be 6 or 7.
This will be number 8.
8?
Yeah.
Holy moly, I don't remember there being 7 skulls on the shirt last year.
Yeah,
but
we
I
had
guess-
7 on the shirt last year.
Perfect
Guess
number.
I missed it. I was too busy hanging out with those Martin House guys.
Yeah. Started in 2012, and 2019 will be the 8th iteration of BTBF.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, Big Texas Beer Festival, about 5,000 people out at Fair Park. It's in March usually.
29th and 30th.
This year, March 29th
Yep.
and 30th.
2019, March 29th and 30th.
There's a Friday night and a Saturday session, so you can check out a couple different things. It's a great time. It's one of the big grand beer festivals, a la Great American Beer Festival, as close as we can get as being Texans and having a, the governor of Colorado used to be the president of the Brewers Association.
How
so-
amazing is that?
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm voting for him for president. Hopefully he runs. That's what they're saying.
That'd be great.
Higginlooper or whatever. I think that's his name.
I've never heard that word before in my life.
I think his
but
name's
I like it.
Higginlooper. Well, anyways, so Chad and Nelly throw one of the best beer festivals out there when it comes to just like excellent execution of a billion beers being all in one room all at the same time. It's pretty crazy. And last year was really cool because it was right as the North Texas get on the same page of the hazy IPA happened.
Yeah.
And your party last year was like the debut of everybody's hazy IPA.
Turning Point, Malai Kitchen,
Tubbs had their
Tubbs,
DDH.
they debuted DDH.
That DDH
I never
debut
thought
was
about the
sneak
fact that it
attack.
was a good time for hazy IPAs
That
to
was
get started.
that was the like coming out party of,
Yeah.
of
And half of them
80%
were like
of ours.
right over by Braindead, so all I had to do was just go.
Yeah, all of our, it was that corner of the building.
Yeah.
Well, at least maybe that's why I
Yeah.
had that experience because that's what I was involved in.
I think my favorite thing to do when people come in here and they say I don't like IPAs is offer them a hazy IPA. I'm like, let me let you try this.
Yeah.
And they try it and they're like, wow, I actually really like this.
Yeah.
This is quite good.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I was reading that hazy IPAs are leading 15% of the craft beer growth right now.
Really.
So amongst all beers,
Yeah.
hazy IPA is responsible for about a sixth of craft beer growth right
Yeah.
now, which is cool.
And that's in the IPA thing, or is
Nope,
that it?
that's all craft beer.
Holy shit.
Amongst
Yeah.
all craft beer, hazy is driving 15% of the entire growth in the segment.
Yeah.
So it's huge. It's big right
I
now,
had
which is
no-
why you guys have
no
rated
idea
5
when they were
times.
making
Yeah, I
that
mean,
beer.
Happiness and Honey Lager have been the two big surprises of 2018 for us. As far as us, we like to brew different beers, and that one just keeps me in demand for brewing more and more. But that's the cool thing is that more and more people are drinking, and more people are coming to the craft beer world every day. That's always been the excitement of what we all do. Is that every time I go to work, there is a chance that I'm getting ready to give somebody their first beer they've ever liked.
Yeah.
That's a real chance.
Yeah.
Every time okay, I'm going to work today, I might change someone's life today, and they're gonna remember this moment.
You know what freaks me out?
That doesn't happen every day, but there's a chance that it can happen.
You know what kind of freaks me out a little bit? It's when I ask for an ID, so I'm like, this person looks young,
Yeah.
and the ID says they were born in 1997,
Yeah.
and I'm like, as long as they were born before today in 97, they can drink a beer. I graduated in 96 from high school, so it's just like, what is happening right now? But it's great though. I love seeing that young people are enjoying craft beer and maybe grabbing a coffee on their way out, which happens to us all the time. People get a beer and then a coffee when they're heading out.
I think you have a good mix because, I remember when I was 19 or 17 or whatever, the way we'd go get fucked up, whatever, is to drink coffee, right?
Yeah.
We'd go hang out with our friends. So I would assume that was at
Did you go down to
I didn't live here. I didn't.
Oh, you did live here. Okay.
So we'd go to Starbucks, all gather.
Hey, do you remember that place in Deep Ellum that was they had the nuclear Girl Scout? There was 4 shots of espresso, and what was the name of that place? Insomnia? Insomnia. That's the name of it.
I
Yes.
don't remember that. I've
this-
never been into. I've drank more coffee since your business opened than I have in a single year any year prior.
Wow. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of skeevy because it was sort of
Hope you
dark
enjoy
corners.
that
And
$17. I don't drink a lot of coffee.
Anton knows about Insomnia. It was a little skeevy, and there was goth people in there, but there were dark corners, and there was homeboy making out with his chick in the corner, but they were drinking their nuclear Girl Scouts in between their makeout sessions. It's a very odd time.
Nuclear Girl Scouts.
Yeah. That was actually Nellie's favorite thing was the nuclear Girl Scout.
Yeah.
I think it was 4 shots espresso, some kind of mint syrup in a latte, and I mean you would just be wired for hours. Because 4 shots espresso is a lot of caffeine.
Jeff used to do that to me because he knows I don't drink coffee. He used to be like, "Hey, have you ever heard of a black eye?" And I'm like, "No, what's that?" He's like, "You're gonna love it."
No, I would bring. That's fucked up, dude. I would bring you those. What is that place? Mudsmith cold brews.
Yeah.
And dude, this guy would. I thought I was fucked up,
Well,
This
cold
guy
brew has the
literally-
most caffeine of any
Yeah.
coffee beverage that there is, period.
Yeah.
Because it's literally coffee in water, never hot water, and it's been there for 24 hours. So if there's any caffeine in that bean, it's being extracted in a cold brew. And we just became a food manufacturer, and we're about to start distributing our cold brew, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I actually, what's that?
Who's your distributor?
Us. We are the distributor because it's
That's
an
cool.
unregulated
Yeah.
product. You know, we can distribute it ourselves.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
I've already got 5 accounts signed up, and I haven't even advertised
great,
it other
dude.
than one Facebook post. So
Yeah.
The cold brew?
yeah, yeah. We're just putting it out in the world, and
See you soon, Whole Foods.
Whole Foods, brought to you by Civil Core.
Via Amazon delivery.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's. I think we'll make $0 on it, and we may even.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, if we're lucky.
Well, I guess
like lots of other things
That's
we
the goal
do.
is to make $0.
The idea, if you're like around in other places, you'll eventually make, a
It's
tiny
just to
amount.
it's just to get the name out
Yeah,
there.
just get the
you know,
name.
I think
Yeah.
we make a really good cold brew. But yeah, it'll be out there soon.
So one thing that I think is one of the biggest misconceptions of the restaurant business, and maybe I'm just drunk when I'm saying this, but I feel like people always assume that I have a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, I've seen lots of people assume that about
We've
you.
joked,
Yeah.
we've joked a bunch of times about how we throw cool parties and we expect to lose some money, but we're just trying to throw a cool party for our homies. And I don't think people believe us when we say that. You know, it's like honestly, 90% of what drives me is like giving money that's made to employees and throwing cool parties, and that's it, you know. And I
Yeah.
think that that's something that's funny about Festival in the whole world. Is like, you know, you're mentioning it's like, you know, sometimes it's like, oh, why don't you just do it like this? I promise you I would. I just don't,
Yeah.
I don't have that, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what we're growing a brewery, and we're expanding. We're every cash we're buying a new tank or a new thing, and you know, we're running a successful business, you know, for sure. But we're buying like stuff that's to spread the joy. It's not to make more money. And I think that's what I love so much about Festival is you are as much a part of it, even though not necessarily this year. You still built it with us the whole time.
Right.
And that's what it is. It's like we're going to throw the best party that we can figure out how to throw without getting in legal trouble.
Right.
And that's literally what we set out to do all the time. I think that's one of the funniest things about starting a business, you know, and as someone
Sure.
that has gone from the event programmer side to the like standing behind the counter every day. You know, I think that's one of the biggest shifts that happens when you start doing that is I don't know, you feel people kind of perceiving you differently.
Yeah, I mean, I think because people see you as a business owner, they think that you have lots of money, but the restaurant business earns a 4% profit to the bottom line on average. So let's just say you have $1 million business,
Yeah.
you make 40 grand at the end of the year. You're not making a lot of money, you know. A lot of time and blood and sweat and tears, and maybe even some of that money goes back to employees, via the form of entertainment or education or training or whatever it is you do with your people.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
It's a cool thing and a passion, and I thank you for joining. Everybody as being somebody that gets to stand behind the counter and put that love out there every day. So I see you doing it. The passion that you have for everything here, the technology, the coffee, the beer. Like this is an expression.
Don't forget the elephant.
Don't forget the elephant. Exactly. But this place is like, it feels like you and Nellie. Nellie is working right now, so she couldn't join us. But Chad and Nellie are synonymous humans. And I love that about this place. It feels like you guys, and I can feel your expression touching Dallas.
Thanks, man.
Super
Thanks.
awesome. Yeah.
Just trying to do our part to get back to the beer, and then as we sort of evolve to the coffee community, which has become it's newer to me. I don't know as much about it, but
Yeah.
I get coffee roasters reaching out every day, going, "Hey, I'd love to send you some samples. Can we send it to you?" And the cool thing is we can carry whatever coffee we want.
Yeah.
Whereas with beer, we're sort of limited by what's distributed here. But with coffee, it's wide open. We're actually about to start carrying Victrola out of Seattle, one of my favorite cups of coffee I've ever had.
Yeah.
starting probably in a week or two here. We should have Victrola on as our guest roaster. Yeah.
That's one of your favorite cups of coffee that you've ever had?
Amazing, yeah. I had a cup of coffee that they make from Costa Rica, and it literally tastes like drinking red wine, and it's a cup of coffee. Wow. It's crazy.
Wow. Like the tannin is what connects
all the flavor. Well, coffee's a fruit, right?
Okay.
Just like a cherry or whatever. In fact, they call them coffee cherries. So when the coffee is picked off the bush, they can do one of two things. They can either take the outer husk off and then dry the bean, or they can leave that outer husk on and dry it that way, and that's considered natural process. And natural process coffee, especially, really like lends to the terroir of the land that it's grown in. So if you get a coffee from Ethiopia, it's natural process. It's going to taste like blueberries and strawberries and raspberries and other berry flavors. You get a coffee from South or Central America, it's often caramel and chocolate and some of these other flavors.
Yeah.
This particular Costa Rican coffee just tastes like red wine. It's
That's
crazy.
amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I'm looking forward to getting that in here.
Yeah.
It's some ridiculous price point that, again, we probably won't make a lot of money on this particular product, but
you'll have that.
because I can't charge $8 a cup for a cup of coffee. But it's amazing. It's an incredible bean, and I can't wait to get it in here.
What about the Civet Cat coffee?
It's a novelty. It's garbage. It's not good coffee. No. Don't mess around with what is that stuff called? The civet is the weasel, but it's what's the name of the coffee? They use it in that ale stuff. Kopi Luwak. Kopi Luwak.
Yeah.
It's not actually good coffee.
That translates to shit coffee, I think.
No, I think it literally does.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's just a novelty. So don't buy into the hype.
Yeah.
Don't mess around with Kopi Luwak coffee. It's gross.
I'm trying to think of a Mick Miller joke here.
I saw Mick Miller's Twitter account where he was bringing back the poops with all the coffee beans in them, and he had them in Ziploc bags. And he posted after he got through security. He was like, I told him they were candy bars, and he took a selfie in the airport. He was like, I told him they were candy bars. Wow. He's a bunch of weasel poop.
It's during the last of the growlers, so I think that's kind of like we're ending the segment here. We're getting
Good,
close
yeah,
to it.
absolutely, it is. And unless anybody else has anything to say.
Chad's like so happy, he's like, fuck. That's it.
Well, I've been avoiding this spill I made this whole time. Thank you.
It's like a beard, really. That spill is like a beard. Wow, Jeff is just going at it.
That's you, bro.
Thanks, team. Well, I want to thank you guys for being a part of this. We had a great time hanging out with Chad today. North Texas Beer Week is starting Saturday. Start with Festival. Come get some tickets. Party with me and Jeff. Unfortunately, Chad and Nelly will be missing their first festival ever as our co-producers. But we're super happy to be. They're going to a wedding that I'm not unable to go to, so we're happy for that. And then North Texas Beer Week is right after that. We've got all kinds of awesomeness going on. Women in Craft Beer. We've got a whole brew pub day going on. We've got a lot of cool things beyond festival. Do you have any North Texas Beer Week specific?
I do.
events?
I've got the Bus to Nowhere. I've got on Monday we're doing a game night, which is like retro games like Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, Super Turbo Street Fighter.
You stay in that Street Fighter realm. You get
I
off
do.
my Mario Kart Smash Brothers game, all right?
Hey, just one night, and then we're gonna do board games too. So it's like retro game, but the logo is. The logo is, yeah, it is. That's my least favorite character. The logo we stole from Joust on the game night. So we got the Joust guy on the Monday game night. And then Tuesday, we're Michael Petticolis coming in here. We're going to do Growler and Crawler fills, Wintervention,
That's
Sledgehammer, Black Curtains, and a bunch of other really cool Petticolis beers. So we should have some cool stuff going on next week.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, I love it.
Let me check out this Petacolis brewing.
Petacolis, huh?
Write that down.
Pentacola?
Pentacola.
The most often mispronounced brewery in Dallas.
You know that happened to us?
Most medal winning.
I know we're about to end, but
No, you're good.
Big Texas Beer Fest, we had like Channel 8 out, and this lady could not pronounce Michael Petticola. She couldn't say Petticola. She couldn't do it. And on air, she called it Pentacolis, and Michael was not gracious about it. He was like, I told you, it's pedicola. So
Nailed it.
funny.
Nailed it. Can we do it again? No, sorry, sir,
No.
that was live.
That was a live
Again,
segment.
or-
I'd love to see him take it however that lady goes. Pentacolas, he goes, thanks a lot, I'm Michael Pentacolas. Just everyone knows that she's saying it wrong.
All right, finish the beer. Once again, thank you so much. Check out the 4K on the Growlersations YouTube. Thank you for all you Central Track viewers out there for being a part and just hanging on through the end.
Thanks, Anton.
We've actually never ended with 0 viewers, so that's nice. This is also good. But we are going to be making this happen. And we're out.
Between two growlers.